I want to quickly talk to you about our top 10 best domain registrars. So if you're interested in this topic, here's a review I want you to pay attention to. Number 10, you have GoDaddy. Our score, 8.1 over 10. So GoDaddy is great for ultra low intro rates. GoDaddy is one of the biggies in the domain registrar sort of ecosystem. They started doing this way back in the days. You know, you're talking 20 years ago. And so GoDaddy actually started doing domain name. Nowadays they have diversified. They actually offer website hosting. They do a website building, all kinds of stuff. It's just fantastic. We love that a lot. So if you're interested in having ultra low introductory rates, go with GoDaddy.com. Not a problem. And so one thing I need to say here is that GoDaddy is also cool if you're looking for an all-in-one solution. In other words, an all-in-one domain registrar, web host, and site builder. And you'll get a deep discount on your first term. But to make the best of it, you will have to commit to a long-term contract. Let's say 3 years, 5 years. That's how you really see the benefits here. In terms of pricing, I want you to look on the screen here. Here is a partial representation of some of the prices you might have to pay for specific domains. Number 9, you have Hover, our score, 8.5 over 10. So when we think of Hover, we think of a service that's great for bulk discounts. So if you're looking for a domain registrar with bulk discounts, go with Hover. And the cool thing about Hover here is that Hover also provides all kinds of services. And Hover is first and foremost a domain registrar, but it also offers email. So if you choose Hover for your domain registration, you'll have to find a separate web host. Hover's pricing is slightly above average for the industry, but it does offer free domain privacy. A .com extension costs about $14.99, $13.99 for a .org, $15.49 for .net, and $34.99 for .io. And renewal prices are the same. So in terms of pricing transparency, this is really fantastic. You also have free domain privacy, email available as an add-on, and you have phone and live chat support. Fantastic. One thing we don't like about Hover is that you have slightly expensive domains. There's no hosting available, and the .io extension is relatively expensive. I want you to look right now on the screen. Here is a partial representation of the pricing that you have to pay for specific domains through Hover. Number 8, you have Google Domains, now called Squarespace. Our score, 8.9 over 10. So as of the date of this show, Google no longer offers new domain registrations, but you have to actually transfer everything to Squarespace. We're still included here in the listing because for a limited number of months, you can still actually go through Google Domains. But the thing is, the service will be handled by Squarespace. Okay. So on September 7, 2023, Squarespace acquired all domain registrations and related customer accounts from Google Domains. Customer domains will be transitioned over the next few months onto Squarespace. But the service is still there, 8.9 over 10. We love the fact that Google Domains is strictly a domain registrar. Okay, so this is best to use it if you already know which web host you want to use. So in terms of the pros and cons here, the pricing does not increase upon renewal. It's easy to use. It's backed by advanced security features. You have built-in email forwarding. Workspace add-on is available, and you have a limited number of domain extensions available. So this is just great. In terms of pricing, I want you to look on the screen here. To actually get more information, you will have to go now to Squarespace to have other types of info. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. We are going to have a wonderful conversation today. Number 7, you have Dynadot, our score, 9 over 10. Dynadot is kind of cool for auction services. So if you're looking for a domain registrar that has expertise when it comes to auction services, this is really great. Dynadot distinguishes itself among the many domain registrars with an impressive offering for auction services. Its user auctions feature stands as an effective tool, enabling its customers to list domains for auction, with the eventual highest bidder receiving the domain in their Dynadot account. This is kind of cool. So for those seeking an alternative to direct domain sales, this approach presents an enticing proposition because it removes the need for direct negotiation with potential buyers and the complexity of setting up a fixed price. Instead, sellers simply list their domain, set a minimum bid amount, and wait for the auction's progressions. And the 7-day auction window ensures ample time for interested parties to place their bids. So this is kind of cool. And this is really good. And so we love Dynadot a lot for their process. And I want you to look right now on the screen. Here is a pricing for Dynadot as of the date of this show. Number 6, you have Name Silo, our score. 9.2 over 10. When you think about Name Silo, I want you to think about a domain registrar that's great for privacy protection features. And the cool thing about Name Silo here is that you have the emphasis on privacy protection. So every domain registrar with Name Silo includes WHOIS privacy features as part of the package. This means what? It means your personal information, often susceptible to data breaches and malicious intent, is guarded and kept confidential. This added layer of privacy proves invaluable for many website owners who prefer to keep their data discreet. While Name Silo excels in privacy protection, additional features such as domain protection and SSL certificates come with an extra fee. This means what? It means you might end up paying more if you require this added services. Despite this, Name Silo's straightforward approach to pricing, coupled with a focus on privacy, sets it apart in this competitive landscape of domain registrars. So this is kind of cool. And speaking about pricing, I want you to look right now on the screen. Here is a partial representation of Name Silo's domain prices as of the date of this show. Number 5, you have Hostinger, our score. 9.4 over 10. So Hostinger is kind of cool for hosting packages. So if you're looking for a domain registrar that has hosting packages, go with Hostinger. The cool thing about Hostinger here is that they're constantly offering competitive prices. And this platform offers a clever blend, in our view, of domain registration and hosting services, creating convenience for time-strapped businesses. This is kind of similar to what GoDaddy is offering also. But Hostinger does a better job. So by actually putting these services together, Hostinger alleviates the need for you to divide your attention between multiple platforms. So this offers a significant advantage, especially for businesses that are trying to establish their digital presence with as little friction as possible. This is kind of cool. And Hostinger also takes privacy seriously, a feature that cannot be underscored enough in our increasingly digital age. So this is really, really fantastic. So by automatically including WHOIS privacy protection at no additional charge, your personal data receives a critical layer of security. So this type of privacy protection is often an overlooked aspect of domain registration, and many domain registrars charge for this. I want you to look right now on the screen. Here is a partial representation of pricing as of the date of this show. Number 4, you have Namecheap. Our score, 9.5 over 10. When you think about Namecheap, I want you to think about a service that's great for user friendliness. They have a user friendly interface. This is just fantastic. And also they have like very affordable prices for TLDs, top level domain names. And the cool thing here is that if you were to compare Namecheap to other players, you will see that Namecheap is really, really, really affordable. And every domain registration gets free WHOIS privacy for as long as you use Namecheap as your registrar. And Namecheap charge for a few extras, including DDoS protection and SSL certificates. It offers web hosting, VPNs, and an email at no cost also. This is kind of cool. And so Namecheap, in our view, is an ideal domain registrar for anyone who needs domain names. Its free domain privacy, fair registration fees, and low renewal costs are with why we believe Namecheap is one of the best domain registrars on the market today. And I want you to look on the screen right now. Here is how Namecheap actually compares. Again, this is a partial representation, but it kind of gives you an idea of what Namecheap offers versus the competition. Number 3, you have Pork Bun, our score, 9.6 over 10. So Pork Bun is kind of cool for a creative domain extension. So if you're looking for if you are in that space and you're looking for affordable pricing, you want to think about Pork Bun. And Pork Bun, what we love about Pork Bun is that they support an assortment of unique top-level domains such as @wiki, @work, .wiki, .work, .email, .voyage, for example, presenting a myriad of opportunities for businesses and individuals to find a domain name that truly suits their unique identity. As the self-proclaimed registrar with the lowest registration and renewal prices, Parkbond offers competitive rates that benefits budget-conscious users, though they are not the lowest we have seen. Okay, what it does though is the same renewal rate as your introductory rate. This is really cool. So besides affordability, Parkbond provides free value-added services, including whois privacy, Let's Encrypt SSL certificates, URL and email forwarding, all contributing to a package that gives customers more bang for the buck. So this is kind of cool. And customer support availability via phone, email, chat, and a comprehensive knowledge base underline Parkbond's effort to ensure customer satisfaction. So this is kind of cool. I want you to look right now on the screen. Here is a partial representation of Parkbond's domain prices as of the date of this show. Number 2, you have DreamHost, our score. 9.8 over 10. So when you think about DreamHost, I want you to think about a domain registrar that's great for customer support. And the cool thing about DreamHost is that you are able to actually tap into their affordable prices also. For example, DreamHost offers low-cost domain registration for the first year, but renewals are kind of pricey. However, it could be an attractive option if you also plan on using DreamHost for your web hosting or for beginners who might need extra assistance from support. So this is kind of cool. And one thing I want to say here is that I want you to look on the screen right now. Here is a partial representation of pricing for domains as of the date of this show. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about the top 10 best domain registrars of this year. Number 1, the best of the best in our view when it comes to domain registrars, we have Ionos, our score. 9.9 over 10. So Ionos, in our view, is best for comprehensive hosting services, hosting packages, that is. And what we love about Ionos is that you are basically getting hosting services. You're getting also domain registrar. You're getting a website building. You're getting a constellation of features and services. Okay. So with Ionos compelling package, you can actually get more than just a domain name. It goes beyond the basics to offer a suite of features that accommodates your business needs. Notably, it has an expensive pricing for the first year of domain registration, particularly for .com domains, which are known for their credibility and recognition. And this is kind of cool. And if you get a hosting package, Ionos enhances the value proposition with additional inclusions, such as a professional email address linked to your domain, wildcard SSL security for protecting your visitors and boosting your Google rank, the capacity to create up to 10,000 subdomains, and one-click activation process. So this is kind of cool. All this are backed by round-the-clock customer support, and the package stands out for its considerable offerings that cater to a holistic digital experience, not just domain registration. And I just need to say that the Ionos used to be called 1&1, so they actually rebranded in 2020, and the company is headquartered in Germany, but they have a U.S. sort of headquarter in Pennsylvania. So this is kind of cool. I want you to look right now on the screen. Here is a partial representation of Ionos domain prices as of the date of this show. Let's have a general conversation about domain registrars so we have a clear idea what we're talking about here. So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So what is a domain registrar, you might ask? A domain registrar is authorized by ICANN or a national CCTLD authority to register domain names. So these registrars rent out domain names to individuals, businesses, or organizations, enabling them to create a distinct online identity. So when registering a domain name, you typically do so for a year. So usually it's 1 year, 6 months, or kind of rather 1 year, though you can renew it for up to 10 years. The ownership of a domain name is not permanent, not at all. You're not actually owning it, but you are renting the domain for the length of your registration term. You must renew it once the term ends to continue using it. So besides actually providing the basic service of domain name registration, many domain registrars offer web hosting, email accounts, website building tools, and SSL certificates for website security. And what we have seen in our research here is that some registrars provide extra features such as privacy protection that safeguard the registration details such as your name, phone number, and address, from being publicly accessible in the HOA's database. This is kind of cool. So as you consider which domain registrar to use, look at the total package of services, pricing, customer support, and overall reputation. And some registrars may offer very low prices for initial registration, but then have high renewal rates, or they even charge extra for services that others include for free. So you want to do the research, you want to compare and contrast several domain registrars before making a decision. It's really important. So for you to choose a domain name registrar, think about affordability. Think about the extensions. So the extensions are basically the TLDs, the top level domains, .blog, .store, .us.ca. Pay attention to that. Think about the ease of use. You also want to pay attention to the support, right? Do they offer phone support? Do they have 24/7, 365 support? Do they have live chat? What are the things that they have? What about registration period? Is it for 1 year? Is it for 5 years? Is it for 18 months? Think about that. What about domain transferability? Do they allow that? Are they really flexible when it comes to that? What about expiration policies? Okay. And are they offering additional services? So those are elements when taken together can actually enhance or diminish your experience when dealing with a domain registrar. Let me give you a few pro tips here. So how much a domain name costs? Well, it depends on the TLD you're looking for, right? So the cost of a domain name can vary based on a variety of factors. The extension you choose, .com, .net, .org, etc., the popularity of the name, and the registrar you select all play a role in determining the price, though it averages $10 to $50 per year. And however, domains can be significantly more expensive, in the thousands, that is, for notable sounding domains. Okay. And the pricing structure is often set up as an annual fee, although some registrars offer discounted rates if you register for multiple years up front. This is actually the lease on your little piece of the internet, and it needs to be renewed when it expires, similar to a rental agreement. And now there are some factors that impact the pricing. So you have the domain extension, the domain popularity, for instance. So if your domain name is in high demand, it could be more expensive. This is especially true for short, simple, and easy to remember names. You got to think about premium domains. Some domain names are considered premium and come with a higher price tag. These are often common words or popular phrases that are highly desirable. And think about the registrar pricing also. Each registrar sets its own price for domain registration, so it's always a great idea to shop around. Some might offer lower prices but make up for it with higher renewal fees or additional charges for services such as domain transfers. And please be aware of hidden fees also, okay? And you also want to pay attention to, if you want to choose a domain name, you also want to do a few things. Explore different extensions, modify your name, for instance, consider hyphens. Yeah, you can consider hyphens, and you can think about .com versus other domain extensions. It really depends on what you're trying to really get to. Okay. And there are some common domain name mistakes. Don't pick things that are too complicated or long. Don't forget about branding, and don't forget checking trademarks. This is really important because otherwise you actually might you might invite trouble in your whole operation down the road, which you don't want anyway. So at the end of the day, do you need a domain for your website? Yes. It is possible to create a website without registering a domain name, but you will not be able to properly brand your site. For example, if you choose a free website plan from a web host, you'll be given a subdomain of the host's domain, and it's like your site.webhost.com. It's more professional and easier to remember than an actual domain. Plus, it helps with your brand equity and ranking in search engines. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Let me quickly recap today's conversation here. So I spoke to you today about the top 10 best domain registrars of this year. So number 1, we have Ionos, 9.9 over 10. Number 2, you have DreamHost, 9.8 over 10. Number 3, you have Porkbun, 9.6 over 10. Number 4, you have Namecheap, 9.5 over 10. Number 5, you have Hostinger, 9.4 over 10. Number 6, you have NameSilo, 9.2 over 10. Number 7, Donadot, 9 over 10. Number 8, Google Domains Now Squarespace, 8.9 over 10. Number 9, we have Hover, 8.5 over 10. Number 10, last but not the least, we have GoDaddy, our score, 8.1 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.